Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is June 10th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see the sun continuing to rise across the Pacific Ocean here. You can see our next storm system out over the Pacific Ocean as well. Pretty socked in here for some areas of western Washington, British Columbia. You can see some of those low clouds starting to break up for western Oregon here, but there is some decent sunshine there to be had across eastern Oregon and Washington as we speak here. So we're going to dive into some of these details here. We'll take a look at the extended forecast because next weekend starting to look interesting here. We got some troughing moving through the Pacific Northwest, and we're going to dive into those details a little bit here, and we'll be watching that over the next few days. Windy Tuesday coming up here. You can see Yakima, White Pass here, Condon, Heppner, Hermiston, Pendleton, Walla Walla. Some gusts over 39 miles per hour are possible. You can see that reflected in Spokane National Weather Service forecast as well, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Elevated fire risk for grass fires. I mean, it makes it easy to spread when you're, of course, adding the wind out there as well. So be careful. Cigarette butts, parking on dry grass. You guys know the drill. Broken tree branches, isolated power outages are even possible. You can see Wenatchee and Ellsberg gusting to 45, Wilbur 45 there as well. Now, taking a look at Seattle yesterday, 71 degrees down from 78 the previous day, but quite a nice day out there. No precipitation right now. 22 miles per hour, the high wind gust, 38 so far this month. We had some blustery conditions at the beginning of the month there for the highest wind gust for SeaTac so far this month. Taking a look at the significant wildland fire potential here for June 2024. You can see kind of a neutral signal there for the Pacific Northwest. But once we get into July, look at this. Western Washington, some of eastern Oregon, Idaho are above average here, and this goes through August and September here upcoming. So interesting stuff. Hopefully we can keep this fire activity to a minimum, and of course this is going to deal it's going to have much more to deal with the actual setup that does happen when those easterly dry winds start to come across the regions, when you can really start to get some of that fire threat west of the Cascades. So we'll see how that goes as we go, how it goes over the next few months here also. Now, taking a look, if you want a nice affordable home weather station, this one's hard to beat. Ultrasonic anemometer, great thermometer with it. You can see it's got the shield from the sun there, and it's got solar power panels on there as well. So I highly recommend this station, especially for the price. It's much less expensive than some of the more professional weather equipment out there, and it works with your smartphone quite nicely, and it has a lightning detection system with it as well. So click on that link down below to save 10% off if you decide you want one. Taking a look at the European now, you can see this ridge trying to nose in a little bit today here, so hopefully some areas can burn off and get a decent day out of this today. But then that next system is swinging through by the time we go towards Tuesday morning. Not a huge precipitation maker for Oregon, a little bit more for Washington, better chances for British Columbia with that one. And then we keep the zonal flow around, a little bit of a bump in this ridge, trying to bump up there. But as you can see, as we go towards the end of the week, another trough moving through there, and then another one on the heels of that as we go through the early portion of the following week here. So we could be dealing with some below average temperatures here and above average precipitation as we go through the second half of June there, and mid and second half portion of June there as well. And then, once you start looking out too far here, you're looking up into fantasy land. It doesn't mean much. Got to take that with a grain of salt. But if we take a look at the European model run here, so this is the next system. Not a bad low there for June into western British Columbia, and the best chances across western British Columbia here. And you can see it does bring some rainfall to western Washington, lesser amounts to Portland and places down across the Willamette Valley, Cascades of Washington and British Columbia, a little bit better chances there. That system swings through there. Then we start looking at the next one as we go towards the end of the week. So keep us cool across the region and bringing again another round of precipitation chances with it. And then there's going to be further troughing on through the extended after that as well, if you believe the model runs. First, let's take a look at temperatures. Daily 2-meter max temperature for today. And look how we cool down a little bit tomorrow. Wednesday, 68 for Seattle. Some 70s, though, still for western Oregon. Warmer east of the Cascades, pretty typical at this time of year. Here we go, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Look, we really knocked down these temperatures as another strong trough may be driving through the area at this time frame. And then we go through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And you can kind of see we're going to be suppressing the temperatures here a bit. So interesting stuff to watch. Will we get thunderstorm storm activity? How much precipitation will we get? All good questions, and questions we will try to answer here over the next few days as we get closer to it. Looking at the GFS now, I showed you the European earlier, so you can see the ridge trying to build in a little bit for today. Transient ridge. System moves through as we go through the day Tuesday, and then we keep the flow zonal, and then we start to bring a stronger trough here as we go on in towards the weekend. Look at that one centered right over the Pacific Northwest here. And then like the European, it still wants to double down on the next trough coming in as we go through next week as well. So pretty good model agreement there when you're looking at 180 hours plus out in the extended forecast. So that'll be something interesting to watch here as we go. This GFS model, it's out about 200 hours right now. It's hot off the presses. It's running right now as we speak. And you can see Seattle. I mean, we're talking about suppressed temperatures here as we go on in through the mid portion of June, and then we'll see what happens after that. This is pure fantasy at the very end of that run. This is Tuesday's system here. You can see a little bit of precip showing up, not much, and then probably a little bit better chances here as we go through the weekend. Something similar for Vancouver International Airport in there across Canada as well. Now, Spokane, harder to get precipitation there, especially this time of year, and not much is showing up in the latest European as of last night. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, clearly the below average signal here. It's showing up. The Climate Prediction Center is all over it, and above average signal there across some of the Pacific Northwest as we go through June 19th. Also, some of this fire danger here as well be a little bit elevated again for today and Tuesday as we get these gusty winds here, and you can see elevated across NW6, NW10, and you can see some of the yellows are out there also. So again, heads up for that fire danger potential over the next few days. But yeah, anyway, here goes Tuesday's system, and we will continue to watch those storms off in the extended. Pretty strikingly good model agreement between the European and the GFS as we look off towards next weekend with kind of a double shot of a trough here moving through as we go through the weekend, then the early portion of next week. So again, we'll see how that turns out. It'll be interesting to look at those weather models tomorrow. And otherwise, yeah, hope you guys are having a good day. Hopefully the sunshine gets out there across Western Washington. We'll see how much of this we can burn off during the day. Otherwise, click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.